Welcome to Michigan, a state defined by the vast, shimmering waters that cradle it. Known as the Great Lakes State, Michigan is a place where you are never more than a few miles from a lake or river. This is a land shaped by glaciers and sculpted by freshwater seas, creating a coastline longer than any other state in the continental United States. Imagine over 3,000 miles of sandy beaches, dramatic cliffs, and picturesque lighthouses standing sentinel over the waves. This constant presence of water infuses life here with a unique rhythm, a sense of both boundless freedom and quiet introspection. It's a place that invites you to slow down, breathe in the fresh air, and connect with the natural world around you. The allure of Michigan extends far beyond its famous shorelines. It is a state of incredible diversity, a tapestry woven with threads of urban energy and untamed wilderness. Here, the hum of innovative cities coexists with the whisper of wind through ancient forests. You can spend a morning exploring the rich industrial history of Detroit, the legendary Motor City, and by afternoon find yourself paddling a kayak along a serene, tree-lined river. This blend of experiences is what makes Michigan so captivating. It offers a vacation for every type of traveler, whether you seek the thrill of adventure, the inspiration of art and culture, or the simple peace of a sunset over the water. This journey we are about to embark on will take you to every corner of this remarkable state. We will explore its two distinct peninsulas, each with its own character and charm. The Lower Peninsula, shaped like a mitten, is home to bustling cities, rolling farmland, and charming coastal towns. The Upper Peninsula, or the UP as locals call it, is a rugged paradise of dense forests, cascading waterfalls, and breathtaking natural wonders. We will travel from the southern border all the way to the northernmost tip, uncovering the stories and sights that make Michigan a true American treasure. Prepare to be surprised by the sheer variety of landscapes and experiences waiting for you. Our exploration will be a promise of discovery. We are not just visiting places on a map, we are delving into the soul of Michigan. We will uncover stories of resilience, innovation, and a deep, abiding love for the land. From the vibrant streets of Grand Rapids to the tranquil beauty of Mackinac Island, where time seems to stand still, we will showcase the full spectrum of what this state has to offer. This is an invitation to see Michigan through fresh eyes, to understand its past, appreciate its present, and get excited about its future. So pack your bags, bring your sense of wonder, and get ready to explore the heart of the Great Lakes. Our adventure through Michigan is not just a trip across its beautiful landscapes, it is also a journey back in time. The story of this state is as deep and compelling as the lakes that surround it. Before the first European ships arrived, this land was the cherished home of Native American tribes like the Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi. Their culture, traditions, and profound respect for nature laid the very foundation of Michigan's identity. We will begin our story with them, honoring the rich heritage that continues to influence the state today. Understanding these roots is essential to appreciating the full picture of Michigan's unique character and spirit. From these ancient beginnings, we will trace the waves of history that followed. We will witness the arrival of French fur traders in the 1600s, who established early settlements and navigated the state's intricate waterways. Then came the British, whose control in the 1700s led to conflicts and fortifications that still stand as historic landmarks. This era of exploration and trade laid the groundwork for future cities like Detroit and Sault Ste. Marie. We will explore how these early chapters of colonial history shaped the state's destiny, creating a melting pot of cultures and ambitions that would eventually pave the way for statehood and incredible growth in the American heartland. The 19th and 20th centuries saw Michigan transform into an industrial powerhouse, a beacon of progress that would change the world forever. After achieving statehood in 1837, the region boomed with farming, logging, and mining. But it was the rise of the automobile industry that truly put Michigan on the global map. We will step into the world of Henry Ford and the creation of the Model T, discovering how Detroit earned its enduring nickname, Motor City. This incredible period of innovation and manufacturing not only built a state, but also shaped modern American life, and its legacy is still felt in every corner of Michigan. As we move through Michigan's history, we will see how its past is intricately linked to its present. The story of its industrial might is mirrored in the resilience and revival of its modern cities. The deep respect for nature held by its earliest inhabitants is reflected in the stunning national parks and protected shorelines that Michiganders cherish today. This essay will connect the dots between the historical events and the contemporary attractions, showing you how every place you visit has a story to tell. So, join us as we journey through time and terrain, from ancient trails to roaring factories, and from tranquil forests to vibrant urban centers. This is the complete story of Michigan. To truly understand Michigan, we must first look beneath the surface, to the very foundation of its geography. This is a land born of immense natural forces. Thousands of years ago, colossal glaciers, miles thick, advanced and retreated across North America. This powerful movement of ice acted like a giant sculptor, carving out the basins that would one day become the Great Lakes. The glaciers scraped the earth, gouged deep valleys, and left behind a landscape rich with rolling hills, fertile plains, and countless smaller inland lakes. This glacial legacy is everywhere you look in Michigan, from the sandy soil of its western shores to the rocky outcrops of the Upper Peninsula. It is a constant, beautiful reminder of the planet's ancient power. The result of this incredible geological drama is a state unlike any other. Michigan is the only state in the United States comprised of two distinct peninsulas, the lower and the upper. Imagine a giant mitten, and you have the shape of the lower peninsula, where most of the state's population resides. It is connected to the rugged and wild Upper Peninsula, or the UP, by the magnificent Mackinac Bridge, a 5-mile marvel of engineering. These two pieces of land are surrounded by 4 of the 5 Great Lakes Superior: Michigan, Huron, and Erie. This aquatic embrace gives Michigan more freshwater coastline than any other state, a gift that has defined its history, its economy, and its very soul. This unique geography created a paradise of natural resources. The dense forests that grew over the land were filled with towering white pines, providing the timber that would build cities across the Midwest. Beneath the soil lay rich deposits of copper and iron ore, metals that would fuel America's Industrial Revolution. And of course, there was the water itself. The Great Lakes and the state's thousands of inland rivers and lakes formed a natural highway system, a network of waterways perfect for transportation, trade, and sustenance. This abundance of resources made the land incredibly valuable, attracting people to its shores for centuries and setting the stage for the stories that were to come. So, as we begin our historical journey, remember that it all starts with the land and the water. The shape of the peninsulas, the location of the rivers, and the wealth of the forests and minerals dictated where people settled and how they lived. The story of Michigan is written upon this landscape, a tale of human ambition and natural wonder intertwined. Every town, every trail, and every shoreline has a connection to this deep geological past. It is the silent, ever-present character in Michigan's epic story, the roots that lie just beneath the shimmering surface of the water, holding everything together and giving it life. Long before European sails appeared on the horizon, this land of lakes and forests was home to vibrant and sophisticated cultures. For thousands of years, Native American peoples thrived here, their lives woven into the fabric of the natural world. The most prominent groups when Europeans arrived were the Anishinaabe, a confederation of 3 distinct but related tribes: the Ojibwe, the Odawa, and the Potawatomi. Also known as the Three Fires Confederacy, they formed a powerful alliance for trade, defense, and cultural preservation. They referred to Michigan as Michigami, a word meaning great water, a testament to their deep connection to the lakes that sustained them. Their presence here laid the cultural foundation of the state. The Anishinaabe were masters of their environment, living in harmony with the seasons. They were skilled hunters, fishers, and farmers who moved with the rhythm of the year. In the spring, they would tap maple trees for sugar, a sweet tradition that continues in Michigan today. Summer was a time for fishing in the bountiful lakes and tending to gardens of corn, beans, and squash. In the fall, they harvested wild rice and hunted deer, and in the harsh winters, they moved to sheltered camps in the forest, telling stories and crafting tools. Their lives were guided by a profound respect for nature, viewing the animals, plants, and water as sacred relatives, not just resources to be used. Their culture was rich with art, storytelling, and spiritual traditions. The Ojibwe, for example, were known for their intricate beadwork and the creation of birch bark canoes, lightweight and durable vessels perfect for navigating the region's extensive waterways. The Odawa were renowned as skilled traders and diplomats, facilitating commerce between tribes across the Great Lakes region. The Potawatomi, known as the Keepers of the Fire, were considered the spiritual heart of the Confederacy. Together, their stories, their art, and their understanding of the land created a rich cultural tapestry that endured for generations, shaping the very spirit of this place long before it was called Michigan. Today, the legacy of the Anishinaabe is still very much alive in Michigan. Their heritage is honored in place names across the state, from Mackinac to Muskegon. 12 federally recognized tribes continue to call Michigan home, acting as sovereign nations and vital contributors to the state's cultural and economic life. They are working to preserve their languages, traditions, and a worldview that emphasizes balance and respect for the earth. When we explore Michigan, we are walking on their ancestral lands, and to truly appreciate this place, we must acknowledge and honor the deep and enduring history of its first peoples, the original stewards of the Great Lakes. The 17th century brought a monumental shift to the Great Lakes region. Drawn by tales of a vast wilderness and the promise of untold riches, French explorers and traders began to venture into Michigan's waterways. These adventurous men, known as voyageurs, paddled their large birch bark canoes from Montreal, navigating the treacherous rivers and vast lakes. They were not seeking to conquer the land, but to trade for its most valuable commodity, beaver pelts. The soft, waterproof fur was in high demand in Europe to make fashionable felt hats, and Michigan's forests were teeming with beavers. The French established a series of trading posts and missions like Sault Ste. Marie in 1668, which is actually one of the oldest European settlements in the Midwest. This era was really defined by a complex relationship between the French and the Native American tribes. Unlike later colonists, the French often integrated with the local communities. They learned native languages, formed alliances, and even intermarried, creating a unique Métis culture that blended European and indigenous traditions. This partnership was based on mutual benefit. The Anishinaabe provided the furs and their expert knowledge of the land, while the French offered manufactured goods like metal tools, firearms, and textiles. This fur trade economy dominated the region for over a century, creating a network of forts and settlements that laid the groundwork for future cities, including the founding of Fort Pontchartrain de Detroit in 1701 by Antoine de la Mothe Cadillac. The French dominance in the Great Lakes, however, would not last forever. By the mid-18th century, tensions between France and Great Britain had erupted into a global conflict known as the 7 Years' War, or the French and Indian War in North America. Both empires vied for control of the continent's valuable resources and territories. Key battles were fought in the region, and with the signing of the Treaty of Paris in 1763, France ceded its North American holdings, including Michigan, to the British. The Redcoats replaced the French fleurs-de-lis, and British forts like Fort Michilimackinac at the Straits of Mackinac became centers of military power and trade. The transition to British rule was not a peaceful one. The new authorities treated the Native American tribes less as partners and more as conquered subjects, which led to widespread resentment. This tension culminated in Pontiac's War in 1763, an uprising led by the Odawa leader Pontiac, who united various tribes in an effort to drive the British out of the region. Though the rebellion was ultimately unsuccessful, it demonstrated the fierce resistance of the native peoples to colonial expansion. This turbulent period of French voyageurs and British redcoats was a critical chapter, transforming Michigan from an isolated indigenous land into a contested prize between European empires, setting the stage for its eventual entry into the newly formed United States of America. After the Revolution, Michigan became part of the United States, its future shaped by the Great Lakes and vast resources. The path to statehood was rocky, highlighted by the Toledo War, but in 1837, Michigan joined the Union, trading the Toledo Strip for the mineral-rich Upper Peninsula. Settlers poured in, clearing forests and founding towns, but it was the towering white pines that fueled Michigan's first economic boom. Lumberjacks felled these giants, sending logs downriver to sawmills transforming towns like Muskegon and Saginaw into industrial powerhouses. The timber rush built fortunes and cities but left scars, clear-cut lands and wildfires, teaching Michigan the hard lessons of conservation. As forests fell, fertile soil emerged, and Michigan's settlers turned to farming, wheat, corn, and especially fruit along the western fruit belt. Meanwhile, the Upper Peninsula's copper and iron fueled a mining boom, sending ore to steel mills and powering the nation's growth. Innovation flourished. Battle Creek became the breakfast capital, Grand Rapids the furniture city, and new industries took root. These developments built a skilled workforce and robust infrastructure, setting the stage for Michigan's next transformation. The groundwork was laid for an industry that would soon change the world and put Michigan at its center. At the turn of the 20th century, Detroit became the heart of the automotive revolution. Visionaries like Henry Ford, the Dodge brothers, and Ransom Olds transformed the city, drawing on Michigan's resources and skilled labor. Ford's Model T and the moving assembly line made cars affordable for millions, turning Detroit into Motor City and fueling a new American middle class. The auto industry's ripple effects were massive, spurring steel, rubber, glass, and highways, and reshaping how Americans lived and worked. Michigan, once built on timber, now put the nation on wheels. The journey from forest to factory was complete, cementing Michigan's legacy of innovation. The world would never be the same. Michigan's identity is inseparable from the Great Lakes, Superior, Michigan, Huron, and Erie, holding a fifth of the world's surface freshwater. The lakes shape weather, culture, and recreation, offering endless beaches, dramatic cliffs, and over 120 historic lighthouses. Life here is an adventure, sailing, fishing, kayaking, and exploring preserved shipwrecks beneath the waves. Yet the lakes also offer peace, sunsets, quiet shores, and a deep connection to nature. In Michigan, the Great Lakes are both playground and sanctuary, the state's most enduring treasure. In the Straits of Mackinac lies Mackinac Island, a car-free haven where time slows and Victorian charm endures. Horse-drawn carriages, grand hotels, and the scent of fresh fudge define the island's unique character. Over 80% is state park. Forests, limestone formations, and trails leading to wonders like Arch Rock and Fort Mackinac. Here, history comes alive, and visitors reconnect with a simpler, peaceful way of life. Mackinac Island is a magical escape, a jewel of the Great Lakes cherished for its beauty and timeless spirit. If the Lower Peninsula is Michigan's bustling hand, the Upper Peninsula, or the UP, as it is affectionately known by all, is its wild, untamed heart. Connected to the rest of the state by the mighty Mackinac Bridge, crossing it feels like entering another world entirely. This is a land of rugged beauty, vast wilderness, and a fiercely independent spirit. With nearly a third of Michigan's landmass but only 3% of its population, the UP is a haven for those seeking solitude, adventure, and an authentic connection with nature. Its landscape is dominated by millions of acres of dense national and state forests, crisscrossed by logging roads and hiking trails that just seem to lead to the ends of the earth. The UP is a paradise for outdoor enthusiasts, offering a different adventure for every season. In the summer, hikers can explore hundreds of miles of trails, including portions of the North Country National Scenic Trail, which winds through some of the most remote and beautiful parts of the peninsula. The region is home to over 300 waterfalls, from the mighty and majestic Tahquamenon Falls, with its distinctive amber-colored water, to countless smaller, more intimate cascades hidden deep within the woods. Kayakers and canoeists can paddle pristine inland lakes or brave the powerful currents of Lake Superior, the largest and wildest of the Great Lakes, which really defines the UP's northern character. The towns of the Upper Peninsula are as unique and resilient as the landscape itself. Communities like Marquette, the UP's largest city, blend a vibrant artistic culture with rugged outdoor access, nestled on the shores of Lake Superior with mountains at its back. In the Keweenaw Peninsula, historic copper mining towns like Houghton and Calumet offer a fascinating glimpse into the region's industrial past, with beautiful old buildings and mining heritage sites. The people of the UP, affectionately called Yoopers, are known for their friendliness, self-reliance, and a deep, abiding love for their homeland. Their unique culture and dialect add another layer of charm to this already captivating region. Exploring the Upper Peninsula is an exercise in discovery, It's about the thrill of spotting a moose browsing in a wetland, the peace of watching a bald eagle soar over a secluded lake, or the awe of standing on a rocky point as a storm rolls in over Lake Superior. It is a place that reminds you of nature's scale and power, where the stars shine brighter without the glare of city lights. The UP is Michigan at its most raw and most real. It is not just a destination but an experience, an invitation to disconnect from the noise, embrace the wilderness, and find adventure in the state's magnificent and untamed northern frontier. Along Michigan's extensive coastline, two places stand out as national treasures, protected for their breathtaking beauty and geological significance. Pictured Rocks, National Lakeshore, and Sleeping Bear Dunes, National Lakeshore. These are not just parks, they are vast natural playgrounds, sculpted by the forces of wind and water. Pictured Rocks, stretching for over 40 miles along the southern shore of Lake Superior, is a masterpiece of natural art. Here, mineral-rich groundwater has seeped through the porous sandstone cliffs for centuries, staining the rock face with a stunning palette of colors: bold reds and oranges from iron, blues and greens from copper, and blacks from manganese, creating the pictured rocks that give the park its name. The best way to witness the majesty of Pictured Rocks is from the water. Guided boat tours and sea kayaking excursions offer front-row seats to this incredible geological gallery. Paddlers can navigate beneath towering arches like Lover's Leap, glide past formations that resemble castles and faces, and even venture into sea caves carved by the relentless waves of Lake Superior. The park also features pristine, secluded beaches, accessible only by boat or a long hike, where you can feel like the only person on Earth. Inland, the park is a wilderness of lush forests, tranquil inland lakes, and numerous waterfalls, offering endless opportunities for hiking and backcountry camping in a truly spectacular setting. Further south, on the coast of Lake Michigan, lies a completely different, yet equally awe-inspiring, landscape Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore. The park is named after an Ojibwe legend of a mother bear and her two cubs, and its centerpiece is a massive dune system, with some bluffs rising more than 450 feet directly above the shimmering blue water. The most famous activity here is the dune climb, a rite of passage for many visitors who challenge themselves to scale the steep sandy slope. The reward for reaching the top is an exhilarating joyous run or roll back down, a simple pleasure that creates lasting memories for families and friends. But Sleeping Bear is much more than just one giant hill of sand. The park encompasses 35 miles of coastline, 2 large islands, and numerous inland lakes and forests. The Pierce-Stocking Scenic Drive offers a series of stunning overlooks, providing panoramic views that have been named among the most beautiful in America. Visitors can hike through serene beech maple forests, swim in the crystal-clear waters of Lake Michigan, or simply find a quiet spot to watch a glorious sunset over the water. Both Pictured Rocks and Sleeping Bear Dunes showcase the immense power and artistry of nature, preserving these unique landscapes for all to enjoy, and reminding us of the profound importance of Michigan's wild and wonderful playgrounds. After exploring Michigan's vast natural landscapes, we now turn our attention back to its urban heart, beginning with the legendary city of Detroit. For decades, Detroit was defined by its automotive prowess and later by its economic struggles. But today, a powerful story of resilience and revival is unfolding. The city is experiencing a true renaissance, driven by a new generation of artists, innovators, and entrepreneurs who are breathing fresh life into its historic streets. This is not about forgetting the past, but about building upon its rich legacy to create a vibrant, dynamic future. The spirit of innovation that built the Model T is now fueling a cultural explosion that is making Detroit one of the most exciting cities in America. The evidence of this revival is everywhere you look. In neighborhoods like Eastern Market, one of the oldest and largest year-round public markets in the United States, you can feel the city's pulse. Here, historic sheds are filled with local farmers, butchers, and artisans, while the surrounding warehouses have become a canvas for stunning, large-scale murals created by artists from around the globe. This creative energy extends to the city's world-class museums, including the Detroit Institute of Arts, which houses an incredible collection spanning centuries and cultures, most notably Diego Rivera's iconic Detroit industry murals. The city's architecture itself tells a story, with beautifully restored Art Deco skyscrapers standing as proud symbols of a glorious past and a hopeful future. Music is, and always has been, the soul of Detroit. This is the city that gave the world the revolutionary sound of Motown, a rhythm that broke down racial barriers and got the whole world dancing. You can step back in time at the Motown Museum, located in the original Hitsville, USA house, and stand in the very studio where legends like the Supremes, Stevie Wonder, and the Temptations recorded their timeless hits. Today, Detroit's music scene is as vibrant as ever, with historic venues hosting everything from techno, a genre born in the city's underground clubs, to rock, jazz, and hip-hop, reaffirming its status as a global music capital. This cultural rebirth is complemented by a burgeoning culinary scene. Food trucks, artisanal bakeries, and innovative new restaurants are popping up in formerly vacant spaces, offering a taste of Detroit's diverse and creative spirit. The city is reclaiming its narrative, transforming from a symbol of industrial decline into a beacon of artistic expression and urban renewal. Detroit is back, not as a shadow of its former self, but as something new, something authentic, and something incredibly inspiring. It's a city that invites you to explore its art, feel its beat, and witness its powerful comeback story firsthand. Beyond Detroit, Michigan's cultural landscape is enriched by vibrant cities that serve as centers of education, government, and artistic expression. Ann Arbor, home to the prestigious University of Michigan, is a city buzzing with intellectual energy and youthful creativity. Its beautiful tree-lined streets are filled with independent bookstores, eclectic cafes, and unique shops, creating a lively and walkable downtown. The university itself is a cultural powerhouse, offering world-class museums like the Museum of Natural History and the Museum of Art, as well as a constant schedule of concerts, plays, and lectures that are open to the public. Ann Arbor perfectly blends a small-town feel with a cosmopolitan, intellectual atmosphere, making it a truly captivating place to visit. Just a short drive away lies Lansing, the state's capital. Here, the focus shifts from academia to governance, but the cultural richness remains. The magnificent Michigan State Capitol building, a National Historic Landmark meticulously restored to its Victorian-era glory, stands as the city's centerpiece. Visitors can take guided tours to admire its stunning architecture and learn about the state's political history. Lansing is also home to Michigan State University, another major educational institution that adds to the region's dynamic energy. The city offers a different slice of Michigan life, one that is rooted in history, public service, and the pride of being the state's governmental heart. Michigan's cultural tapestry also includes threads from across the Atlantic. In the city of Holland, located on the shores of Lake Michigan, the state's strong Dutch heritage is on full display. In the spring, the city bursts into a riot of color during its famous Tulip Time Festival, where millions of tulips bloom in parks and along city streets. Visitors can explore a charming downtown with Dutch-style architecture, visit a real working Dutch windmill, and even watch artisans carve traditional wooden shoes. Similarly, the town of Frankenmuth offers a taste of Germany, celebrating its Bavarian roots with festive decorations, polka music, and famous chicken dinners, creating a year-round Oktoberfest atmosphere that delights visitors of all ages. These cities, each with its own distinct character, showcase the incredible diversity of urban life in Michigan. From the intellectual buzz of Ann Arbor to the historic dignity of Lansing and the European charm of Holland and Frankenmuth, they offer much more than just a place to stop. They are destinations in their own right, filled with museums, festivals, and unique local cultures. They demonstrate that Michigan's appeal extends far beyond its natural wonders and industrial legacy, offering rich cultural experiences that provide a deeper understanding of the people and traditions that make the Great Lakes state so special. A journey through Michigan is incomplete without indulging in its unique and delicious food scene, which is deeply connected to the land and its cultural history. In the northwestern corner of the Lower Peninsula, you'll find Traverse City, the undisputed cherry capital of the world. Thanks to the moderating climate of Lake Michigan, this region produces the majority of the nation's tart cherries. Every summer, the city celebrates its most famous crop with the National Cherry Festival. But year-round, you can savor the flavor in countless forms, from fresh cherry pies and salsas to cherry-infused wines and barbecue sauces. The cherry is more than just a fruit here. It's a symbol of the region's agricultural bounty. The same climate that makes Traverse City perfect for cherries has also given rise to a flourishing wine industry. The rolling hills of the Leelanau and Old Mission Peninsulas are dotted with picturesque vineyards and award-winning wineries. The region's cool climate is ideal for growing crisp white grape varietals like Riesling, Pinot Grigio, and Gewürztraminer, which have gained national acclaim. A drive along the peninsula's wine trails offers not only the chance to sample these excellent wines in beautiful tasting rooms, but also provides some of the most stunning views in the state, with rows of vines leading down to the sparkling blue waters of Grand Traverse Bay. It's a truly delightful experience for any food and wine lover. Michigan's culinary identity is also defined by some iconic, down-to-earth local dishes. No visit to Detroit is complete without trying a coney dog, a hot dog smothered in a savory meat chili, topped with mustard and onions, a fiercely debated local delicacy with rival versions sold side by side. Head to the Upper Peninsula, and you must try a pasty pronounced pasty. This savory meat and vegetable pie, sealed in a flaky pastry crust, was brought to the UP by Cornish miners in the 19th century. It was the perfect portable lunch to take down into the copper and iron mines, and today it remains the quintessential Upper comfort food. From the farm to the city diner, Michigan's food scene is proudly local and deeply delicious. The state is also a powerhouse in the craft beer world, with hundreds of microbreweries creating innovative and traditional brews in cities and towns across both peninsulas. Whether you're enjoying a five-star meal in a Traverse City restaurant, grabbing a coney dog from a historic Detroit stand, or sipping a craft beer in Grand Rapids, you are tasting a piece of Michigan's story. The state's food is a direct reflection of its agricultural richness, its immigrant history, and its unpretentious, welcoming character, offering a true feast for the senses. When winter arrives in Michigan, it doesn't just bring cold weather, it brings a profound and beautiful transformation. The vibrant greens and blues of summer give way to a pristine world of white, a quiet and magical landscape blanketed in snow. The Great Lakes, which moderate the climate, also fuel legendary lake-effect snowfalls, especially in the western parts of the state and throughout the Upper Peninsula. This abundance of snow turns Michigan into a premier winter wonderland, a playground for those who embrace the chill and find joy in the frosty air. Far from a time of hibernation, winter in Michigan is a season of exhilarating adventure, offering a completely different but equally thrilling way to experience the state's natural beauty and outdoor spirit. For skiers and snowboarders, Michigan offers a surprising variety of terrain. The northern Lower Peninsula is home to numerous ski resorts, with rolling hills that provide perfect runs for families and intermediate skiers. Resorts like Boyne Mountain and Crystal Mountain are bustling winter hubs, offering not only downhill skiing but also tubing, ice skating, and cozy lodges with crackling fireplaces. For those seeking a more rugged and challenging experience, the Upper Peninsula delivers. The mountains of the UP receive some of the heaviest snowfall in the Midwest, creating deep powder conditions and steeper slopes that attract serious skiers and snowboarders looking for a true northern adventure in a wild and scenic setting. Beyond the ski slopes, Michigan's vast network of trails takes on a new life in the winter. The state boasts thousands of miles of groomed snowmobile trails, creating a winter highway that connects towns and winds through stunningly beautiful forests. It's a thrilling way to cover vast distances and explore the state's remote corners. For a quieter experience, you can strap on a pair of snowshoes or cross-country skis and glide silently through the woods, following the tracks of deer and foxes in the fresh snow. The stillness of the forest in winter, where the only sound is the crunch of your steps and your own breathing, offers a profound sense of peace and connection to the natural world. Winter also transforms some of Michigan's most famous landmarks into ethereal ice sculptures. The waterfalls of the UP, like those at Pictured Rock's National Lakeshore, freeze into magnificent towering columns of blue and white ice, creating a breathtaking spectacle that draws ice climbers from all over the country. The lighthouses along the Great Lakes become encased in dramatic layers of ice, sculpted by the wind and waves into fantastical shapes. Even the simple act of walking along a frozen lakeshore, listening to the ice crack and groan, is a uniquely Michigan experience. Winter here is not a season to be endured, but one to be celebrated for its stark beauty and unique adventures. As the last of the snow melts away, Michigan awakens into its most celebrated season, summer. The state bursts into a symphony of lush greens and deep blues, and the air fills with the scent of pine trees and fresh water. The days grow long and warm, offering endless hours of daylight for exploration and relaxation. This is the season when Michigan truly shines, when its identity as the Great Lakes state comes to the forefront. Life moves outdoors, to the beaches, the lakes, the trails, and the patios. From the bustling resort towns along the Lake Michigan coast to the tranquil inland lakes of the north, summer is a time of pure, unadulterated joy and the quintessential Michigan experience. The heart of a Michigan summer is undoubtedly the water. With 4 Great Lakes and over 11,000 inland lakes, there is a perfect spot for every kind of water lover. Families flock to the sandy shores of Lake Michigan to swim, build sandcastles, and soak up the sun. Boaters set sail for leisurely cruises, island hopping, or thrilling wakeboarding sessions. Kayakers and paddleboarders explore serene riverways and hidden coves, getting an up-close view of the state's diverse ecosystems. Fishing is a way of life here, with anglers rising at dawn to cast their lines in hopes of catching bass, walleye, or trout, enjoying the quiet solitude of the morning mist rising off the water. This is also the prime season for road trips and travel. To get the most out of a Michigan visit, it's best to come prepared for anything. Packing layers is always a wise choice, as a warm, sunny day can quickly turn into a cool evening, especially near the Great Lakes. A good pair of hiking shoes is essential for exploring the state's countless trails, from the rugged paths of the UP to the sandy climbs at Sleeping Bear Dunes. And of course, don't forget your camera. The scenic drives like the famous M22, which hugs the Lake Michigan coastline, or the tunnel of trees on M119, offer one stunning photo opportunity after another, with breathtaking vistas around every curve. Ultimately, summer in Michigan is about creating memories. It's about the taste of a fresh cherry pie in Traverse City, the sound of a bonfire crackling on a beach at night, and the thrill of running down a giant sand dune. It's a season for exploring charming small towns, attending local festivals, and watching spectacular sunsets that seem to set the entire sky on fire. Whether you seek high-octane adventure or quiet relaxation, Michigan in the summertime offers an idyllic escape. The best travel tip is simple: come with a sense of wonder, be ready to explore, and allow the magic of the Great Lakes to capture your heart. As our journey through the Great Lakes state comes to a close, we are left with a profound appreciation for its incredible diversity. Michigan is a land of beautiful and compelling contrasts, a place where different worlds coexist in perfect harmony. It is a state where the roar of a factory floor and the whisper of wind through a pine forest are equally vital parts of its identity. Here, the sleek modern lines of a Detroit skyscraper stand just a few hours' drive from a timeless island where the only traffic is the clip-clop of a horse-drawn carriage. This dynamic interplay between the industrial and the natural, the past and the future, is what makes Michigan so endlessly fascinating and deeply captivating for all who visit. The state's character is forged in the contrast between its 2 peninsulas. The Lower Peninsula, with its vibrant cities, rolling farmland, and bustling coastal towns, offers a familiar, welcoming embrace. Yet, just across the magnificent Mackinac Bridge lies the Upper Peninsula, a rugged and wild frontier that promises solitude and untamed adventure. Michigan is a place where you can spend a morning exploring a world-class art museum and an afternoon hiking to a secluded waterfall. It is where the legacy of the automobile revolution meets the ancient traditions of the Anishinaabe, creating a cultural tapestry that is rich, complex, and uniquely American, inviting visitors to experience a dozen different vacations all within one state's borders. This is a state that will stay with you long after you have left its shores. It is in the memory of a spectacular sunset melting into the vast freshwater sea of Lake Michigan. It is in the taste of a sweet, sun-ripened cherry picked fresh from an orchard in Traverse City or a hearty pasty in the UP. It is in the feeling of awe as you stand before the colorful cliffs of pictured rocks or the sheer joy of running down a massive sand dune at Sleeping Bear. Michigan engages all the senses and leaves an indelible mark on the heart, a quiet call to return and discover what lies around the next bend in the road or the next cove along the shore. Ultimately, Michigan is more than just a destination. It is an invitation. It is an invitation to explore, to discover and to connect with nature on a grand and powerful scale, to connect with a history that shaped a nation, and to connect with the warm, unpretentious spirit of its people. Whether you come seeking the thrill of adventure in its wild north, the inspiration of its resilient cities, or the simple peace of its endless coastline, Michigan has a story to share with you. It is a state you will want to return to again and again, each time discovering a new layer of its beauty and a new reason to fall in love with the heart of the Great Lakes. Enjoyed the journey? Hit that like button, subscribe for more travel content, and let us know in the comments what you'd explore first in Michigan.